What's good, fellow outcasts and other rejects? It's Karmpit here, and welcome to WTC, the Anime Outcasts. First off, if you are new here, we upload anime what-ifs based around My Hero and other shows alike. Secondly, did you know 80% of our audience isn't subscribed? So if you want us to continue making videos, make sure to like and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Running through what seemed to be an endless forest, the young Izuku Midoriya continued to run for his life. Behind him was his childhood bully, along with a few of his friends, eager to give Izuku his daily dose of torment. "You won't get away from us next time, you worthless Deku!" shouted Bakugo, his voice echoing behind Izuku, as he continued to run through the small forest which was close to his junior high, not even attempting to look back behind him, out of complete fear, knowing all too well about Bakugo's willingness to torment Izuku, just for being quirkless. Finally managing to escape from Bakugo's wrath, as Izuku had mastered every inch of the small forest that Izuku ventured into, ever since he was a kid, unlike Bakugo, who always managed to get lost in the small forest. The tired Izuku skidded to a halt under a small bridge, his lungs begging for air due to running for what seemed like an eternity. "That godshot always bullying me, just because I don't have a quirk. Even without one, I'll still become a hero," shouted Izuku, clenching his fists in pure anger from all the torment the spiky blonde gave him ever since he was the age of 4. Unknown to Izuku, he was not the only one accompanying behind him. A ball of sludge slowly grew in size. Before he knew it, his instincts went off, turning his attention towards the sludge monster. Izuku's emerald eyes immediately widened out of fear. Before Izuku could even run from the sludge monster, he was quickly engulfed by the sludge-like villain. "It'll be much easier if you relax. Don't worry. I'm only here to take over your body," said the sludge monster, engulfing Izuku with his slime, suffocating the boy in the process as he waved his arms in desperation. "Taking over my body? What the hell is happening? I can't even..." Izuku thought out loud, his muffles being silenced by the overwhelming sensation of slime going down his throat. It wasn't soon until his eyes started to fade, his body slowly going limp from the lack of oxygen, slowly letting himself fade into darkness. All Izuku could hear was the laughter coming from this monstrosity. But before Izuku could accept his fate, a loud voice echoed throughout the underpass. "Hey!" yelled a mysterious man, forcing the sludge monster to drop Izuku as the amateur villain turned his attention towards the unknown figure. "And who are you?" asked the villain, as his eyes darted from what seemed to be a man wearing an emerald hood, pointing a bow towards the villain. "Leave him alone," demanded the mysterious archer, as Izuku glared at the two individuals. A hero?" the confused Izuku asked while his eyes tried to refocus, only being able to register a hooded man in a green suit wielding a bow and arrow. "A bow and arrow? What are you gonna do with that?" asked the sludge monster, laughing at the archer's feeble attempt to save the boy in front of him. "You'll see soon enough," the mysterious archer responded, firing his arrow, to which the sludge monster absorbed through his slimy skin. "Is that all you can do? You do realize my body is made out of fluid. But I guess it's my turn now," said the sludge monster as he sent himself towards the green archer. But before he could even attempt to engulf him, his body completely froze. Looking down to see where the arrow pierced his body, his slimy eyes widened at the sight of ice. Before he could even muster up his next sentence, the sludge monster completely froze, while Izuku continued to watch in awe, smirking at the sight of the frozen sludge monster. The archer drew his bow again, ready to deal the killing blow. "Villains like you don't deserve a spot in a hero society. You have failed this city," the unknown vigilante yelled, shooting another arrow directly towards the frozen sludge monster. Upon making contact with the frozen villain, a huge fireball engulfed the small underpass, sending a huge explosion everywhere. Ducking from the scorching heat and black smoke, Izuku huddled into a ball, closing his eyes from the sudden burst of light. A few moments passed, as all Izuku could hear was the ringing coming from his ears. Opening his eyes, he saw the mysterious archer stand in front of him. Not knowing what to do, Izuku just looked at the man who just killed someone. Noticing fear radiating from Izuku, the hooded figure extended his arm towards the quirkless boy. Seeing the kindness from this stranger, Izuku took the archer's arm, helping the boy back up. You okay? Asked the hooded figure. Izuku scuffed off the remaining slime off his school uniform. I'm fine, thanks, replied the young boy, his eyes peering towards the site of where the sludge monster once stood, immediately noticing the broken chunks and remains from the sludge villain. Izuku gasped with pure shock. You killed him? Asked the shocked Izuku, his eyes still glaring at the remains of the sludge villain. He had failed this city. I had to remedy that. Villains don't deserve to live in a hero society. Don't worry, I'm not going to kill you, Izuku's savior replied, picking up Izuku's burnt notebook. It seems you like heroes, huh? Commented the archer, skimming through Izuku's notes on well-known pro-heroes. Yeah, I do. I want to become the next All Might and become a hero just like him, answered the insecure Izuku, revealing his dreams to the stranger that just saved his life. But I'm also quirkless. I'm good for nothing. My friends are all bullies. No one accepts me, continued Izuku as tears started to fall down his emerald eyes. The internal pain that he had endured for the past 10 years radiated through the young boy. While Izuku explained his painful childhood, unbeknownst to them, the scattered remains of the sludge villain started to move on its own, using this opportunity to escape. The ball of slime slowly scurried away, doing its best not to make any noise in the process. That's some dream you have there, kid. My advice to you, be more careful around the streets. You'll never know what lurks behind the darkness, the hooded figure said, handing Izuku's notebook to the green-haired boy. Thank you, replied the young boy, before picking up his backpack as he walked out the small underpass. Before leaving, Izuku wanted to know the identity of the archer. Turning towards the emerald man, Izuku asked for his name, since he didn't recognize him to be a pro-hero, as his methods were rather too extreme. Wait, before you go, could you tell me your name? Asked Izuku, only for the unknown vigilante to turn towards him. You can call me the Green Arrow, answered the Green Arrow, exchanging smiles before Izuku left. As Izuku left, the Green Arrow was about to leave as well, just before noticing that the sludge monster that he had killed was no longer in front of him, only noticing the charred remnants of his explosive arrow on the ground. Crap, muttered the archer, punching a hole in the wall with a fit of rage, knowing he wasn't able to end the sludge monster's life. While continuing the journey home, Izuku boarded a subway train not far from the park where Baku chased Izuku, and where he almost died by the hands of the sludge villain. He could not shake off what he had just transpired. A mysterious man suddenly appeared in front of him just when things started to go dire. Just on the brink of death, this emerald savior came to his rescue. Although his methods were despised upon by other heroes, Izuku knew that whoever this person was had the willingness to do what it takes to become a hero. Just before he could continue to think about what had inspired, the subway train skidded to a halt, as Izuku realized that his stop had arrived. Exiting the cramped subway, Izuku ventured home down the subway station and headed towards his home. While on his way home, he saw a large crowd in the distance as smoke erupted on a nearby plaza. As curiosity overwhelmed him, Izuku couldn't help but investigate. Walking towards the large crowd, his eyes widened at the horrific sight. It was the sludge monster. Against all odds, that monstrosity thing managed to escape death. How did he even survive? Before Izuku could ask himself that question, he heard the familiar sound of explosions. Darting his gaze towards a spiky young blonde being entrapped by the sludge villain, he saw his childhood bully, his tormentor, Katsuki Bakugo. Even though this boy bullied him throughout his life, Izuku couldn't help but act, instinctively propelling himself towards the entrapped Bakugo. Izuku quickly threw his backpack towards the sludge monster, catching him off guard. What is that kid even doing? He's gonna get himself killed! Shouted one of the bystanders, seeing Izuku run towards imminent danger. Someone stop him! Yelled another skinny blonde man, looking in the distance. watching the action unfold in front of his very eyes. Arriving at Bakugo's aid, Izuku desperately tried to free his tormentor, only to be met by the resistance from Bakugo. "What the hell are you even doing here, Deku? Get out of here, you damn nerd!" yelled the struggling Bakugo, doing his very best to free himself from the sludge monster's clutches. "No, Gachan, I'm not gonna leave you here to die!" retorted Izuku, attempting to pull Bakugo with all his might, but to no avail. "You've got some guts, kid, but unfortunately for you, the two of you walked into your foolish demise," mocked the sludge monster, engulfing Izuku once again. But before he could even suffocate the two young boys, a familiar hero sprung into action. "Do not be afraid, you two, because I am here," the heroic voice. Immediately, the sudden rush of wind blew past the two, sending the sludge monster into a wall, freeing both Izuku and Bakugo. "What the hell?" asked the two in unison, as they saw their all-time idol, the symbol of peace himself, All Might. Before Izuku could even register what was going on, Bakugo threw himself to safety. "This is the end of you, villain! Detroit, smash!" shouted All Might, punching the sludge villain with such force it created a small vortex, sucking the sludge villain into the windy vortex. Just as Izuku registered everything that had transpired, he was bombarded by numerous pro-heroes and law enforcement, lecturing him for his foolishness and heroics, even though Izuku had the heart of a hero. But before they could continue scolding the boy, an Emerald Archer suddenly appeared from the shadows. "What the hell does he think he's doing?" one of the bystanders asked, as Izuku turned his attention to the same archer that saved him not moments ago, watching the same hooded man walk towards the unconscious sludge monster, as the man extended his bow, pulling it towards the defeated villain. "Someone stop him!" another bystander shouted, both the cops and pro-heroes, as they ran towards Vigilante. "You have failed this city,"
Green Arrow muttered, before firing an explosive arrow at the sludge villain, instantly vaporizing him, shocking the many bystanders and pro-heroes. Gasping in total shock, Izuku knew deep down that it was wrong to kill, but after encountering the sludge villain and nearly killing both him and Bakugo, another side of him felt at ease, knowing that the sludge monster won't hurt anyone else anymore. The next thing he knew, Izuku's savior was gone, just before the police could even arrest him, leaving the boy in a daze. Finally being able to walk home from the eventful day, Izuku ran into Bakugo, scolding him for an idiocy and his stupidity, saying that he didn't need any help at all from a quirkless brat, leaving Izuku confused as Bakugo ran off in the distance. Sighing with relief, knowing that the day was almost over, Izuku walked into the sunset, but fortunately for him, his day couldn't get any worse, as All Might burst out of the corner, startling the green-haired boy. "Hey, kid," said a mysterious voice as the skinny blonde pale man appeared in front of Izuku. "What the hell? Who are you?" asked the startled Izuku, suddenly realizing it to be the symbol of peace stemming from the young boy. "All Might? What are you doing here, and why do you look so skinny?" asked the shocked Izuku as All Might began to speak. "Young man, I am here to talk to you about your actions today. Plus, I believe that you are worthy of knowing my secret." Now it's the symbol of peace, informing Izuku about his intentions. "Now, as you know, what you did back there was reckless. You ran in there without hesitation, even though you knew it. Will just get yourself killed in the process," said All Might, as Izuku would listen to his idol. "Here to lecture me about my recklessness like all the other pro-heroes?" asked Izuku, annoyed by the fact that many pro-heroes condemned his actions when he tried to save Bakugo. "No, as a matter of fact, you remind me about my younger self. That burning desire to save people, no matter the costs. Even if you don't possess any quirk at all, your body moved before they had a chance to think, almost on their own. And today, that's exactly what happened to you. You instinctively acted upon the crisis that laid in your front of you, which is why I'm here to tell you that you will become the next," said All Might, giving Izuku a speech as his memories of childhood flashed through him. From the point where he was told he didn't possess any quirk to the point where his mother cried at him at the very night, tears coming down Izuku's emerald eyes like a waterfall, sobbing uncontrollably in front of the symbol of peace. As it was the first time in his life, someone gave him that heartwarming speech. The next thing Izuku heard was something unexpected, something that would change his life forever. As a symbol of peace announced that he was worthy of his quirk, one for all, shocking Izuku to the core. After All Might explained his quirk, and how he became a skinny, pale man following the fight with the symbol of evil, to the young Izuku, revealing his most kept secret, he knew that, for a reason, the world chose him to be the next symbol of peace. Accepting All Might's offer, the two started their journey to make Izuku the next successor of One for All. Walking home from the endless surprises that this day presented to him, he was met by his mother, Inko Midoriya. Immediately hugging the boy tightly as tears flowed down her eyes. "Oh, my precious Izuku, are you okay?" asked the crying mother, as Izuku placed his arms on Inko's shoulders. I'm fine, Mom. Thanks for asking. Don't worry. I'm alright," responded Izuku, reassuring his mother, before heading straight to his room for the night. As Izuku closed his door, ready to sleep, and to ready himself for the day, his eyes glanced at his table. What lay in front of him was an emerald arrow with a note attached to it. Immediately knowing who it was from, Izuku walked towards his desk, pulling out the embedded arrow that was in front of him. As Izuku slowly unraveled the piece of paper attached to the arrow, his eyes widened at the contents of what the letter presented to him. The name that everyone called me is Deku. It's a demonizing name for worthless. I've been quirkless my entire life. I've dreamt of awakening a quirk every cold, dark day since then. For 14 years, I have had only one thought, one goal. Become a hero. Become a hero and be the next symbol of peace. My life held many dangers. To live, I had to make myself more than what I was. To forge myself into a weapon. I am returning not the quirkless boy who was deemed useless by his peers, but the hero that will bring justice to those who have poisoned hero society. My name is Izuku Midoriya. Thanks, Outcasts and Rejects, for watching till the end of the video. If this video gets 80 likes in 2 weeks, we'll continue this series.